Hello everyone, it's Dawn and welcome back to my channel. Well, as promised, I'm going to show you what I call invisible stamping. And just to recap, all it is stamping so that you don't see the lines, so that you don't see the outlines by the time we're finished. I know some people like that, but I actually don't like it. Occasionally I do, but not very often. And while we're at it, I'm going to show you a really neat trick that I've discovered as to how you can create this melting wax effect on your candles. Now, if I hold that up to the light, I'm not sure if you can see it. If I hold it as close as I can to the camera and tilt it, if I tilt it to the light like that, close to the camera, hopefully you can see this dripping or melting wax. And I'm going to show you my way of creating that on your cards. So we'll slide that to one side for a moment. I'll bring in a plain piece of card. I use cartridge paper for my stamping, but any smooth card or paper will do nicely. And what we do to do this invisible stamping, we use a colour of ink which is close but not quite the same as the card or paper that we're stamping onto. So this is an off-white, so I am going to use a yellow. I'm going to use a yellow ink. Let's just pop that over the way, or out of the way, just for a minute. So I'm going to ink this up, and of course remember, if it's a new stamp that you're using, do remember to rub it over with your fingers or your thumb or an eraser to take the manufacturer's film off. You won't see anything, but it is there, and if you don't take it off, you'll probably get an imperfect stamp. It might be a bit patchy. And the other thing is, make sure you're stamping onto a flat surface, a flat table. So I'm going to turn that over. And one other tip for better stamping is, I've seen so many people, they take their stamp and they go boom and take it off. And they think, oh, why didn't that stamp? It's because they haven't left enough time for the ink to penetrate onto the paper. So just hold it down for a few seconds, just to give it time. That should be enough time. And that is perfect. Now we have a perfect image. And if I hold that up to the camera, you can see the image, but it's not very prominent, and by the time we're done you won't see it at all. But you don't have to sit there and watch me colour every single bit in. Don't worry about that. I've devised a shortcut that will help. So what we are going to do, I'm just going to do one candle, this one here, to show you how it works, just to start the process off. So I'm just using my alcohol pens. So for this, I'm going to use 2 tones of red. We're going to go into the dip of that candle there like that. Just carefully, the bit I'm going round, I don't know how much you can see of this image, but the bit I'm going round reasonably carefully is the flame. So we'll just make sure that we get it darker at the middle. Now you don't have to worry about using a different pen, just press on a bit harder and you'll get that darker shade. Now I'm going to miss out for a moment the drip, and I'm going to miss out that bit there because that is actually a fern, but we're not going to worry about that now. I'll go around the drip. We'll just colour that up like that, and hopefully you can see that appearing quite nicely. So I'm just going to colour that in like that. Then I'm going to replace the top, obviously. I'm going to get my darker pen, actually no, before I do that, I'm going to do the flame, which I'm going to do in yellow. Because what I don't want the yellow going into this dark red. So I'm going to do the flame, just like that. Then I'm going to take my red. And you can see this image building up nicely, but as we go over it, you will not be able to see the outline at all. The outline will disappear. And you are left with a nice, clean image, like that, which is how I like it to be, especially on an image like this. Now what I will do is put the ink cube lid back on for 2 reasons. One, so I don't put my fingers in it or my clothing in it, and one, so it doesn't dry out too quickly. So now you can see that one building up. Now, when you've done all that, you do that in exactly the same way. I'll just get my pens out of the way. And you do it to the foliage at the bottom. And once you've done that, you're left with an image that looks like that. So now you're left with an image that has no outline at all, but you've got a fully coloured image for your card. Now, I did promise I was going to show you how I do the dripping wax. So I shall need to bring one of my pens back, but I'll do that in a second. What I do, you may have guessed what I've done, but I'll show you anyway because it's fun to do. I'm going to start at the back and I'm going to use my hot glue gun. It's already heated up very nicely. So what we do, over that dark bit of melted wax, just squeeze a little bit of glue and let it drip. Controlled drip, I call it. And then just give it a bit of a twirl once you've finished, and it'll stop. It should stop too many glue strings. You might still get a few, but don't worry about it. It might even add to the effect. And I'm just going to spread that out a bit. And we are going to just, if it forms in a lump as it's drying, just spread it out a bit and push it down. And we're going to do the same to the others. Just let it melt down like that. And it'll drip nicely. If it drips further, as that one has, just let it drip. That's fine. It'll all add to the effect. And we're just going to do that one there. And what you need to do once you've done this is give it a few moments to dry. So you'll know when it's dry because it'll start to cloud over and it'll start to go white. So once it's dried, it does take a few seconds because it's left open. Usually with glue, obviously, you'd put something on top of it to adhere to it, to stick two things together, and it bonds instantly. But because we're leaving it to the open elements, so to speak, it will take a little bit longer to dry. So if it takes too long to dry, we will let that dry by itself, and I will bring back the other one and show you what I did. So let's just have a look how we're doing with that. Well, do you know what? No, that's still a bit tacky. So what I'll do, I'll put that to one side. I'll leave it there because it might even dry while we're doing this. So what you would do, once that's dry and it's dry to that milky film, which it's starting to do, but it does take a while. What you do, let's just pop that one over there for a minute. Just take your dark alcohol pen that you used to colour your drips and just go over it like that. I know you won't see very much because I've already done it, but we'll just keep on doing this while the other one's going cloudy. So, and once it's gone cloudy enough, I'll bring it back. Oh, actually one of them's starting to now. So let's have a look. Let's see if that's going to work. So I'll pop that up there. Bring this one back because this one started to go cloudy. So if it's hot enough, and it is, great. So that one's hard enough now. So what we do, we just use our alcohol pen and we go over the dried glue. And that will enhance your drips or your melted wax. So just go over it like that. That's dried out quite nicely now. So I can show you on the real thing, so to speak. Oh. So there we go. And this one has really dripped nicely. I like the way that's dripped down. So we're just going to pop that down there like that and cover that with our pen, and you have an invisible stamping or outline free candle with a beautiful melted wax image with our hot glue gun. So I hope you've enjoyed that and found it useful. Do give it a go yourself and let me know how you get on. Give me a thumbs up if you haven't already. If you've enjoyed that video and you've enjoyed the process, please do give me a thumbs up. Add any comments you'd like to. If you're not already a subscriber, if you are, thank you very much. But if you've enjoyed this and you'd like to see more, please do subscribe, click the notification bell, and you'll never miss another video from me. And I will see you very soon with a new video. And in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed it. It's been fun showing you, so I hope you've had fun watching. And I'll see you next time. And in the meantime, happy crafting and take care. Bye bye for now.